Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. So it's been a bit of a minute since we sat down and had a bit of a chat together. So as you guys can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about how to grow natural hair. I can't say that this is the exact formula for, growing natural hair, because it's not. This is how I've grown my hair, this is what I've seen to work, and this is what I think works best. So yeah, let's jump straight into the video. First tip for growing natural hair is to be patient. I know this is frustrating to hear, but honestly that's it. You have to be patient. As you guys can see on the thumbnail that I put on this video, you can see that from 2014 to 2019, that's 5 years. That's the growth that I've had. That's 5 years, guys. I have a lot of people in my DMs coming in and telling me, I've just done the big chop. How do I grow my hair to be like yours? Well, first of all, you need 5 years for my hair type. For you it might take less time, for you it might take more time. When you get into natural hair, you need to know that it's about patience. It's like watching grass grow. You can't watch grass grow because it won't look like it's growing. But when you come back a week later and you haven't seen it and you go look at the grass, it's different. I'm so sorry, my lighting is just like in and out. With natural hair, you can't be measuring it every single day. You can't be measuring it every single week to see how it's growing and to see what's happening. You're going to tire yourself and you're going to get really, really annoyed. The best thing to do is just be patient. Live your life, do what you want to do, rock your TWA, experiment, find your routine. Don't worry about the length, don't worry too much about the length. Worry about maintaining your hair and the length will come. The second tip that I'll give for you guys is about tender loving care, some TLC. Natural hair needs TLC, and a lot of it. She's a sensitive baby girl. She needs care, she needs love, she needs, everything to be perfect for her to be able to grow. You can't be rough with natural hair. You can't be, try and do things your own way, have things your own way. If your hair doesn't want to budge, it doesn't want to budge. If it's tangled, it's tangled. You are the one that needs to change yourself and change your routine and change what you're doing in order to allow your natural hair to flourish. So it's not about you doing this and this better work and continuing to do that even though you don't see results. It's about experimenting. At the end of the day, it's taken me 5 years to get to the point where I am at, and still I'm learning, still I'm trying new things, still I'm trying new products. So it's a learning thing. You never stop learning if you want to do the best of what you're doing. With natural hair, you need to continue to learn, and you need to continue to adapt, and you need to continue to try new things to see whether it will work. The second tip that I'll probably give for you guys is your scalp. I know a lot of people care more about the hair. As long as the hair is looking good, the hair is looking fresh, everything else doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, your hair comes from somewhere, which is your scalp. If your scalp is not in good condition, then there's no point in your hair, honestly. It's like the soil. It's the soil. If the soil isn't good, the plant won't grow. If the soil is too acidic, if the soil is dirty, if the soil has contaminants, if the soil is, dry, what happens to the plant? The plant will die. The plant won't flourish. That's the same with our hair. You need to maintain your scalp just as much, if not more, than your actual hair, because from scalp to hair, you need to maintain your scalp. This is making sure that your scalp is moisturized, that your scalp is well hydrated, that your scalp is clean, it doesn't have any fungus, any dandruff, anything like that. Making sure that from time to time you do an apple cider vinegar rinse. Making sure from time to time that you really get in there and you massage your scalp and stimulate your scalp and you clean out your pores. Doing things like that just to make sure that your scalp is in good condition and your scalp is living its best life will really help your hair to grow better and to grow faster. Moving on from that, I'll probably say that the next tip would be less is more. in terms of less product is always more. If it says a dime size piece, use a dime size piece. Don't take this massive glob. I know we want to do that, but use a dime size piece. The people who made the product know how the product works and what works best for the product. So why would you be trusting your own judgment over someone whose job it is to make sure that they tell you the right amount to put in your hair? At the end of the day, when you have too much of something, it's not a good thing. Too much oil, too much conditioner, too much shampoo, too much leave-in conditioner is not a good thing. If you have too much leave-in conditioner, your hair gets weighed down and it doesn't look nice. If you have too much oil, you saturate your hair and it becomes oily and there's too much oil. If you have not enough product as well, if you have not enough product, your hair will be dry, it will be brittle, and it will break. You need to find that middle ground, that homeostasis where you are putting enough for your hair. And that goes back to knowing your hair, that you need to know your hair in order to know how much product you actually need to use, how much conditioner you should use, how often you should condition your hair, how often you should shampoo your hair, and things like that. The more you learn and the more you know about your hair, the easier it is to maintain it and the faster that it will grow. The second tip that I would probably give is you need to make sure your hair is moisturized. I have a lot of people contacting me about how their hair is dry, how my hair looks really soft and really fluffy in my photos, and they want to know how I get my hair to be like that. And at the end of the day, the reason is obviously I have a different hair texture to some other people, so obviously my hair is going to be a lot fluffier, but on top of that, it's about moisturizing your hair. If your hair is moisturized and it's well hydrated, your hair is going to be a lot fluffier than when it's dry and brittle. If it's dry and brittle, it's going to curl up and be quite tough. In Shona we call it mfushwa. It's going to be like mfushwa. But if your hair is hydrated and it's well moisturized, it's going to be a lot more fluffier. And you do that by obviously making sure you dampen your hair before you manipulate it, making sure that you use a good leave-in conditioner and that you oil your hair and that you make sure that there's oil on your ends as well. So as you oil your scalp, you put a lighter oil maybe on your hair. For me, I use coconut oil on my scalp and then I use jojoba oil on my actual hair. So making sure that both my scalp and my hair is moisturized. Second tips, these are tips that you can use when you're actually in the process of doing your hair. So some of the suggestions that I'll give for you guys is to work in sections. I repeat this so many times in my videos. Every single time I do a video, I say work in sections. Work in sections. It makes your life easier. You're less rough with your hair when you work in sections. It's a smaller section. You have more control over the section. You won't be, roughhousing the hair and causing breaks, or you cause more damage in working in bigger sections than you do when you work in smaller sections. When you work in smaller sections, you have more control over your hair and you do less damage, especially if your hair is dry. Another tip is to work on damp hair. I always say this in my videos as well. Like with sectioning your hair, work on damp hair. Damp hair just moves better. It's a lot nicer. It cooperates more than dry hair. Natural hair just is better manipulated when it's damp. Even for myself, when I'm about to comb out my hair for an afro or section my hair for the night, I dampen my hair with a spray bottle. Moving on to my last two tips. One would be you need to put your hair away sometimes, honestly. For some of us, winter is not very nice to us. It's very, cold, it rains, it's choppy. In Australia, in winter it rains a lot. It's cold and it's just not friendly. My hair doesn't like it at all. So for me, for winter, I put my hair away. I put my hair in box braids. just because I like box braids. I'm not a big fan of weaves and stuff like that, so I just put my hair in box braids and, you know, hibernate my hair for the winter, because at the end of the day you can do more damage in winter than you can in trying to help in your hair. There's no point, you know, because at the end of the day it's always raining. By the time you walk outside, your afro has shrunk. So there's really no point. From time to time, use a protective style, whatever it is of your choice, just making sure that it doesn't destroy your hairline. But other than that, you can use a protective style to just, you know, help your hair out and give yourself a break as well, you know. Natural hair can be tiresome sometimes. And then lastly, the last tip that I'll probably give you guys is a satin bonnet, you know. It's needed. I only got a satin bonnet at least a year and a half ago into my natural hair journey, and it's changed my life, honestly. You need it. It stops your hair from fighting with itself while you sleep, from, you know, twisting and turning and knotting each other up. It protects your hairline as you sleep, as you toss and turn and stuff against the pillow. You cause friction, your hair can break, and also you can get, you know, some lint and things in your hair, or magumbeze, you know. So just making sure that you protect your hair as you sleep. Wear a satin bonnet. For myself, I wear a satin bonnet anytime I'm in my bed. So even if I'm watching Netflix in my bed and I'm lying on my pillow, my satin bonnet will be on. So just making sure that at night you have something to protect your hair. Satin is the best for natural hair. So obviously I would recommend a satin bonnet, or even just go to your local Lee Craft or your local fabric store and buy the fabric itself, or scrap fabric. Sometimes they sell scrap fabric. Just buy some scrap fabric and wrap it around your hair and go to bed. You don't need to buy a $20 satin bonnet. You can even make one. I have a video on how you make a satin bonnet. So there you go. I hope you guys have liked these tips. I hope they're somewhat helpful. Somewhat. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Yeah.